What's up, YouTube? It's Johnny Busket. I am back. I'm back. Oh my God, I'm on YouTube. It's been like at least 6,000-7,000 years. But I'm back for the season 23 update for DCDB Cube. It's not very long. It's gonna be quick. It's not much. Most of you know about these changes already. I'm just here to do my video as usual, kind of give you a little bit of insight on my thoughts and kind of talk about these updates just a little bit. All right, first and foremost, let's kind of talk about the links in my description. For those of you that are new to Cube, have some info about the mod down there, have some info about the Discord, about the Cube in general, so you can find that stuff there. And jumping right into it, we only really have one thing as far as rules and things like that go. The first thing are the cards that have effects that benefit all players at the table. This is just a point of clarification. So some cards are from sets where everyone is kind of working together with one common goal. Cards like this crypto I have on the screen now, those cards have had the text changed up a little bit just to clarify what they do and what they mean for you as a player. These will only affect people on your team. So when you're playing free-for-all, you're the only one on your team, so everyone won't draw. You will just draw. If you're playing a 2v2 mode, then of course you and your teammate will have the ability to draw from that card. But they want to make sure to clarify that and make the change with some card errata, and that is what we have here on the right side. Now, you can always find every single card text change that has happened through errata on this link I have here and in the description. So if you click that link, you can go and you can see all these nice little changes they made to the cards just to make them clearer, and a few points of clarification through that method. That's it. That's all we have for Cube updates as far as rules and things like that go. So we can just jump straight into the MC changes and the card deck changes as usual. So first, let's talk about the MCs that were added. So we have Green Lantern 15 and Wonder Woman 9 being added to tier 2. As a lot of you know, this update was tested out, a whole lot by us as a community this time around. Robert kind of gave the information out to everyone and allowed us to kind of play and send info and feedback. Some things didn't make it in, but a lot of it did. These two were, of course, some of the things that made it in. And from what I saw from this Green Lantern, he's pretty cool. It's hero heavy, so that's always hit or miss, but it was pretty cool to watch that. The two new Wonder Woman MCs weren't as strong to me, but they also have some decent effects. But those have been added to tier 2. These are the two additions to tier 3, Wonder Woman 12 and Kendra Saunders. Kendra Saunders is giving you a new option aside from Indigo, or now Wildcat. We'll talk about that more in a second. At tier 3, so they are the new cards. I'll go ahead and add those there to tier 2. These are tier 3. And we can talk about these MCs that were banned. So the defense Sinestro, they gave you VP for defending. That has been Drawfire, She is banned. Superman and C4 Flash are also banned. So no more 6-card lineups. I did see one interesting way to get a 6-card lineup, which is through Felix Faust and the Kid Flash that lets you add a card for gaining. So if you remember when Bizarro was around, you could use Bizarro's effect to add a card to the lineup. But now you use Felix Faust's ability, and you can add a card to the lineup while gaining 2 power, but you also gain a weakness. So I've seen that happen. I actually saw Tib do that the other day. So that is one way that you can get that 6-card lineup still. But other than that, that's pretty much it. You won't get a discount for that 6-card either. But so those are the MCs that were banned. Now we can flip these over and talk about these changes. So at tier 1, the only change we have is Handfire going from 2 down to 1. So she's the one where if you have the types, you can destroy a card in your hand. Not as good as the one that, you can destroy a card you control, but she's still effective. She still has her ways. And now that she's back at a 1, you can add her to some certain teams that needed a little bit of destruction, and you have it at tier 1. Not the best destruction, but it is an option just like that Katana. So have at it, come up with some teams where you just needed that extra little edge and thin out your deck, and she should be able to help with that. And you still have 5 other tier points to use. I know she was moved up once upon a time because of how much she was being used, but with Baz being at a 3, I don't think it'll be as wild as it was back then. I've seen some cool things still, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, she's a win. At tier 2, starting off with Big Barda, she's down from a 3 to a 2. She still isn't OP to me. She, you have games where you won't use her to the very end, so it is what it is. Deathstroke from a 3 to a 2. You don't have many draw options at tier 2, so he's just another one getting added in there. Gorilla Grodd, he's down from 3 and he's a 2 again. He was separated from Chameleon Boy last season, just because, of course, Glider is a 2. So they've done that again here. Chameleon Boy actually went up, which I'll talk about in a second, and Grodd is back down to the 2. Now a really good one, Zatanna. So the tier 3 Zatanna, she's actually a 2 now. Zatanna 12. She's really good, man. Every time I see her on the team, like, she's just there with 2 or 3 other MCs, and it's just good. You get to look at the top 2 cards, whether you're getting rid of them or you just have knowledge of what they are. It's just good. That is it for this tier. There was only decreases here in tier 2. Tier 3, we have increases and decreases. So, starting off with the increases, like I said a second ago, Chameleon Boy went from 2 to 3. Dr. Manhattan is another one that went up from 2 to 3. I don't have the exact thought process on that, but my assumption is that with Deathstroke being moved down and, all these other cards being moved down from 3 to 2, it was just, let's move him up. Because he's really good. You just buy 2 kicks on your first 2 turns, and now you have a way to destroy cards. So, and of course, you'll get other superpowers or maybe even more kicks. So, he's just really good at destroying cards. Now for cards that got moved down. Dark Knight's Metal Aquaman, he was one of the changes that was thrown around before the season actually came out, and he was able to stick around. The base set Aquaman actually didn't. So, but of course you have this one, and he's really cool. Most of the time I see people just stacking superpowers and villains on their deck just to keep it going, turn after turn, and that's fun. We have Saint Walker, who has been saved, and he is now a 3 again, so I've seen people using him. The attack Sinestro that gave you VP. So the defense one got banned. This one got moved down. So you have another way to use him again. Because 4, a lot of people wouldn't take that chance. But maybe at 3, we'll be seeing him on teams more. Finally, Wildcat. Speculation for him getting moved down have been going around for quite some time, season after season. And now it's finally happened. All right. There's only increases here. Nothing moved down from 5. We thought Harley Quinn was going to be moved down to a 4. It did not happen, so all we have is Indigo being moved up from 3 to 4, Comedian being moved up from 3 to 4, and Vixen being moved up from 3 to 4. So if you thought you were going to be getting off some Vixen teams with that Zatanna at 2, it's not going to happen. It'll only be her and Zatanna as it always was at tier 3. So that is it for the MC changes. Now over to the main deck. The main deck is now 392 cards. There's very few additions, as you see here, 3, and we have 6 cards being removed. Starting off with the additions, you have Ares, Crypto, and Rabbit Robin. Ares is a draw 2 defense that is a 7 cost, 3 VP on it, okay? Don't sleep on the 3 VP part. We saw the addition of a couple other 3 VP cards last season. Now we have this one. He is a really good defense because he draws 2, and he's 3 power even if you don't defend. And of course he's 3 VP, so it's always worth it. Crypto is another defense card being added. He says each player draws a card, so I talked about this at the beginning of the video, right? Everybody at the table will not draw. It will just be you and your teammate. Free for all is just you. 2v2, you and your teammate. And finally, Rabbit Robin. I remember when Dark Knight's Metal came out, and everyone was saying, what do you think would be in the cube? This is one thing I heard. I definitely heard a few people saying they would like add it. So when you buy this, you gain a weakness. If there's no weaknesses on the weakness stack, you do not gain a weakness. You get the card and you get the 2 VP for a 2 cost. That is amazing value. If you have a way to destroy this instantly like Wonder Woman, you can do that. And now you just have a 2 cost, 2 VP, 1 power draw card. And that's really good. There's a few of those in the deck. So yeah, if you see it, I definitely would buy it. I think it's worth gaining a weakness, but very good card to me. Now for the cards that were removed. We have Alfred Pennyworth. Cat-like reflexes, which I'm not sad to see leave. I never felt like I wanted it, but when I saw other people using it, it was just, doing its thing. Deadshot and Harley Quinn, I'm excited to see go. I never wanted these in my deck, and they were really annoying to get hit with, so good riddance. Oblivion Bar. Now we don't have that discard ongoing defense now, right? Since this was switched out for the other one that we had before. But Oblivion Bar is gone. And finally, Orion. A lot of people, love this card because it's, of course, a really good card. But it is gone now as well. Replaced with another 7 cost. And finally, there's no changes to the supervillain. So That's all we have for this update. Those are your MC changes. Those are your main deck changes. And hopefully, as far as from what I've seen, we'll be getting a lot of variety. I haven't seen many 2 MC teams. I'm seeing like teams with 4 MCs minimum. And that's because a lot of the good stuff got moved down and moved around. So hopefully the person in last seat will have some good teams they can just snatch out of that lineup early. But that's all I got. I told you it was going to be quick. That's it. I mean, the season's already started. I've gotten to play it just a little bit. But hopefully we'll have some fun. There is a tournament February 26th. So if you can make it, definitely drop in, win some games, and qualify for that money tourney at the end of the year. But that's it for me. It's Johnny Busket. I'm out of here, signing off. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.